Rahel speaks directly to the audience. She is alarmed. As her account of the dream proceeds, she gets more and more alarmed. By the end of the account, she is living the disaster fully in the here and now, with all the force of the original nightmare. She is seated in a simple chair near the apron of the stage. I dream I find myself upon the outermost bulwark of a very considerable fortress, which extends in a broad, flat, sandy plain far out beyond the town. It is bright noon, and the weather on this day is characterized by those bright shafts of the sun which produce a kind of despair because there is nothing refreshing about them. They pierce their way through no bracing air, nor fall upon any objects that might cast reassuring green shadows. I am standing with my breast close to the edge of this old rampart, and I am pressed by a whole mob behind me. These people are all dressed like Athenians. Finkelstein is standing beside me, bareheaded, dressed like the rest, but in pink taffeta, without looking in the slightest degree ridiculous. I am to be thrown down from this rampart, which is the last of the entire fortress, deep down among stones, chalky sand pits, rubble, and broken off fragments of the fortress. The mob is demanding it, and shouting to Finkelstein, who is their king, to give his consent. He stands there, cruelly sullen, looking down into the depths. The people shout louder and more violently, insisting that he consent. The mob presses closer and closer to me, with their eyes on Finkelstein. They grip my clothes. I am trying to look into his eyes. I keep shouting. You won't say yes, will you? Will you, Carl Gustav? Tell me, will you say yes, Carl Gustav? He stands still and unmoved, ashamed before these people for not yet having consented. The people are shouting too, and he says yes, yes, yes. They seize me and throw me over the wall. I am falling from stone to stone, and as I am about to fall into the ultimate pit, I awake. Blackout lasting about 3 seconds, then a circle of light appears which is slightly larger than that which has illuminated the monologue, which has just ended. We see Carl Gustav standing as though on a pedestal, looking, as in scene 4, out at the audience and slightly up to his right. He is dressed as Rahel has just described him in her dream report. She has not moved. She is seated behind him, to the rear of his left elbow, and with a view of his left ear and the back of his head. Such a silly bugbear is this fate which has interposed itself between me and you. With his left elbow raised, he slowly and deliberately scoops the dirt out of his left eye socket, and is thrusting me back into my misery. It is so omnipotent, and yet it is so ridiculous. Carl Gustav, dearest, please tell me what I should think of in order not to despair. He strokes the hair on the back of his head, which Rahel is looking at. I wish very much you would see my wife. You would like her very much. Oh, what shall I think of or do in this long life to come? I love you more than ever, and it will always be thus. Rahel now speaks directly to the audience. Though she is speaking in the past tense, the events she is describing are happening here and now. The actress must play the action and not merely describe it. You murderer, I thought, and I remained seated. Tears came to my throat and to my eyes. I felt like a creature that he owned. He might have consumed me. He might have consumed me. My whole soul was enraged in upheaval. All else that still followed were repetitions, misunderstandings, insults, the last chords of a bad concert. Since my infamous birth, everything had to turn out this way, you know. Ay, Gewalt, Rahel, Rahel, if thy sins be red as scarlet, they shall be white as snow. You have wandered so far, beloved princess. Nachamu, Nachamu, your hour has come. Not once, but twice your portion have you received. Master of the world, finally the time has come. The hour is here when we, your people Israel, must rectify the sins of Jeroboam. Jeroboam, the great sinner, descended from the root of Cain, yea, even from the devil himself. The golden calves erected by Jeroboam at Bethel must at last be destroyed, and this terrible sin must be atoned for, now and for all time to come. Do you remember the story I told you when we first came to this place? I'm sure you do. My grandfather, the great and holy Baal Shem Tov, may his memory be for a blessing, came to a certain city, and there he saw many great souls which turned to him for redemption. He knew that the only way he could redeem them was by his own death. Well, my dear friends, I want to tell you something I have kept from you since we first met. Since the soul of the tzaddik travels from generation to generation, now this is that city. I am the tzaddik, and you are the great souls. I know. Even before we met, it was revealed to me that you've had your eye on me for a long time already, beckoning me to this place. What can I tell you? Thousands of you, tens of thousands, and it all has come to this moment. I am ready. I am ready, my beloved friends. I am ready to give my life during the coming perilous journey, if that is what is necessary to accomplish the redemption of all your souls. I want to risk my life. Know that I want to place myself in danger, even great and terrible danger. I will risk disease and pirates and storms at sea, whatever is required. I am ready to accept all this for him, bless his name. But I do not want to risk your lives. Therefore, if you want, take money for expenses and go home in peace. I shall set out alone for the Holy Land. It will be a lonely time. I will miss you all. You know, being a rabbi is nothing more than the way this poor sinner pays off his own debt to God. I atone for my own sins by struggling to bring others to repentance. You see in me a great, beautiful tree with wonderful branches, but the roots of this tree are lying in hell. Messiah ben Yosef, the great warrior Messiah, who prepares the way for Messiah ben David and for the final day of judgment. Like our patriarch Yaakov, who entered the evil realm of Lavan to rescue the fair Rahel, so does Messiah ben Yosef penetrate the other side of the universe, the dark realm of sin and pollution, in order to redeem the exiled Shekhinah, the lost princess of God, and the lost children of Israel who await him, panting like the deer for the brook. Armed with his redoubtable double-edged sword of prayer, Messiah ben Yosef turns neither to the right nor to the left. His aim is directed only at the mark, which he always strikes head-on. Divine justice is the goal and result of all the struggles of the warrior Messiah, possessed of the soul of the patriarch Yosef. In vain does Potiphar, wife of Pharaoh's minister, attempt to seduce the poor tzaddik Yosef. Exactly so is the immaculate soul of Yosef impervious to the filth of each generation, into which it is reborn again and again until its mission finally is fulfilled. Only pure souls, great tzaddikim, willing and able to survive infinite temptation in realms of the worst corruption, can hope to complete this most difficult of all tasks, to rid the world of sin and to prepare the way for the second and last Messiah, Messiah ben David, whose soul is the true mate of the princess of God.